course. Please give it to Frost when he wakes up. Bruce gave her a puzzled look as she leaned in and passionately kissed him. After that she left. Chapter 19. Oswald lightly knocked on Pax's apartment door. Wow. Was all he could say. Standing before him was a beautiful Pax. Do you like it? She twirled around. When she stopped, both her and Oswald's smile faded. Are you sure about this? Oswald was sincere. Pax sadly smiled. Yeah, I'm so tired of running. I'll be okay. Oswald nodded as he offered her his arm. As they rode to the board's gala, Pax looked out the window as silent tears eased down as she pressed her eyes closed. Oswald noticed as he sat across from her. Are you sure you're okay with this? Pax opened her tear-filled eyes and smiled. Yes, everything is as it should be. Oswald sighed as he handed her his handkerchief. Thanks for helping me do this. I couldn't have done it without you. I mean, come on. Those devices would have taken me all night to set. Oswald genuinely laughed at the memory from the night before activities. That was fun. Pax held her breath as she entered the massive ballroom. She clung to Oswald briefly until it was time for them to part. He kissed her cheek and whispered in her ear, "Good luck." Pax strutted through the crowd to find the event planner. As she gently moved through the crowd, she felt as though she was being hunted. She was right. In a corner table sat her ex-lover along with a cackling Harley. On the other side, Brian Derlin watched her as she reached her destination. Pax lightly tapped Mindy Stevens' shoulder. Oh Pax, I'm so glad you're here. We are just about ready to start. Pax showed a friendly, nervous smile. As Mindy turned back to her party to excuse herself, Pax eased her eyes up to Oswald as she watched him switch out the jump drive for the presentation. He rubbed his hand through his hair as a sign that the job was done. Mitzi smiled to Pax. Ready, dear. Ready as I'll ever be. As they headed up the stairs to the balcony podium, Pax looked down to her phone. It was a text from Bruce. Frost is no more. Johnny Paxel is born. Pax sighed with relief as she wanted to cry, but was able to hold it in. Mitzi leaned over the microphone. Testing. May I please have your attention? Please give a round of applause to Penelope Xavier. Pax smiled as she looked over the roaring crowd. Good evening. As she said, I'm Penelope Xavier, but most of you know me as Pax. As I look out over this crowd, I find myself privileged to be the one to rip it apart. The crowd grew silent. Joker jerked his phone up as he received a text. Bats has Frost. His eyes then shot up to Pax as she continued. Yeah, heard right. Let me show ya what I mean. She clicked the projector and the presentation began with the title, Ball Busters. Joker growled under his breath. Oh no. He pushed from his seat. What's wrong, Puddin'? Harley followed him like a dog. She stopped as she heard her laughter on the screen. It was a club surveillance video of her having sex with one of the bartenders. She froze as everyone started to laugh at her. Shut up. She covered her ears from the laughter. Next was Two-Face's voice on a phone recording with Harley. We had a fucking deal. I would get Pax out of the way so you could have your clown back. But now you're going with Derlin. You could hear both Derlin and Harley laughing in the background. Yeah, well, he's a better fuck. Ain't ya, Derlin? Pax leaned over the mic. Who hasn't banged this woman? Please raise your hand. The crowd laughed louder. Pax looked down to an angry Two-Face and winked. The video continued to play all the dirt that she found on each criminal. They started to push and shove one another. The last clip was a recording on Hector's phone. Derlin, please. Why do you want my shares so bad? I'm going to take over the board and kill every one of ya. After Harley kills Mr. J, my worst threat will be gone. Joker stopped dead in his tracks and spun around to a crying Harley. No. She shook her head as she ran to him. He raised his arm and backhanded her to the ground. You stupid bitch. I should have killed you when I had the chance. He drugged her by the head of the hair to Derlin. Deal's off. You get her. Stay away from Pax. Oh, yoo-hoo. Joker's face shot up to a smiling Pax. I'm not interested, Jay never was. She then leaned over the mic. Testing. Pax cleared her throat. Yesterday I fucked a billionaire. She laughed as she gave two peace signs and pulled a detonator out of her cleavage. Pax. She looked down to a furious Joker. Yes, Jay darling. You're wrong about me. Oh, am I? How so? Frost was safe the whole time. I put him in an induced coma by injection. Harley wasn't there when I did it. I knew you would never forgive me if something happened to him. Pax smiled. Oh, Jay, I believe you. I really do. But you could have told me. Also, you still wanted Wayne Enterprises files. You were still using me, Jay. Just like always. Joker raised his hand as she pressed the detonator. No. Celebrate Good Times started to play on the speakers as hundreds of balloons fell. Everyone stopped fighting to look around. Pax's voice came over the speakers. Sorry everyone. My bad. Wrong button. Oh, here it is. Pax lightly squeezed the red button and multiple explosions erupted. As the place started to crumble, Pax ran to the roof fire escape. Joker pushed against a sea of people to get to the roof. Brian Derlin had the same idea. Pax heaved as she reached the top of the building. She was on the edge as Oswald came barreling up. She helped him into his parachute as the building shook. As he was about to help her do the same, Pax lost her balance and accidentally lost her shot. Oswald was about to take his off, but she grabbed him and held him over the edge. Always a gentleman. Pax. Oswald gasped as she pushed him over the side. She stood on the edge as she watched him flow through the air to safety. Chapter 20. Pax sighed as she looked into Gotham's night sky. Pax. She turned around to face Joker. Hello, Jay. Come on, baby. Let me take you home. He offered his hand. Pax let out a tearful laugh. Think I'm almost there. The flames sure look like hell to me. Joker took a step closer. Why didn't you show the board my plans against them? Pax rolled her eyes. Sentimental, I guess. You could have done this like everyone else. An email would have done it. He caressed her cheek. And do it normal? Where's the fun in that? She smirked. Get away from him. Pax rolled her eyes to Harley. Oh God, it's the third wheel. Harley was heaving through gritted teeth. I'm not the third wheel. Joker pushed Pax out of the way as Harley roared while she charged. She pushed him to the ground. Tell her you don't live for her. Tell her. Joker just laughed. Oh Harley, that's exactly what I do. Harley drew a knife from thigh to stab him, but a foot knocked her backwards off of him. Pax giggled as she helped him up, but as she did, Derlin's hand jerked her back by the head of the hair. Joker reached for her. No. The building shook violently. Time to go, Pax. Really? Another third wheel? Can't anyone die in peace? Pax stomped his foot. He screamed as he released her. She spun around to push him off the building, but her breath hitched as he shot her. Derlin smirked confidently. Pax slightly wobbled, wrinkled her brow and pressed her pointer finger on his shoulder and shoved hard. Derlin tripped over a leaning pipe and over the side of the building. Well, that was anticlimactic. She turned to a shocked Joker and slumped to her side. Blood was seeping through the front of her satin dress. She winced when she placed her hand on her abdomen and brought it up covered in blood. Oh, I really like this one. Joker scooped her up and cradled her. I'll buy you a new one if you stay with me. Well, I have some bad news. The only way down is the fire escape, and you can't carry me and climb. Pax's head started to wobble. Besides, what better reason to die than for the ones you love? Put me down, Jay. No. He spun around looking for another way out. He ran to the side of the building and hoisted Pax over his shoulder. Oh my God, that's smarts. Although the view is nice. Tee. Joker growled as climbed down. Stop cracking jokes. He stopped as he heard a voice calling from above. Puddin', help me. Harley was reaching for him as the building shook. Puddin', I'm scared. Joker continued to climb down with Pax. He noticed an impaled Derlin on the broken fire escape on the way down. His speed increased by jumping to the platforms below, floor by floor. Pax, you still with me? No answer. He pulled her from his shoulder and leaned her against the metal railing. Her eyes were wide open, but she was gone. He gently patted her face. Pax. No. He grabbed his hair as he sat back across from her. The building started to shake with fury. He hoisted her over his shoulder again and continued to jump down. Below he saw a limo pull up with Oswald hanging out the sunroof. Jump. Joker heaved off the side of the railing just as the building started to collapse. He landed on his back as he cradled Pax's lifeless body. Oswald eased her off of him and slid her to the limo as Joker jumped to his feet. Joker cradled her in the limo as he stroked her white face. Oswald was silent as he looked out the window. Harley roared as she watched him leave. She went to the other side of the building and ran, hoping to clear the other side. As she ran to the middle, the floor caved in and she sunk into the flames.